A nurse from Scotland has a real-life scientific superpower. Joy Milne can smell the presence of Parkinson's disease in other people. Around 12 years before her husband, Les, found out he had that condition, she noticed an unusual musky smell coming from him. Then he started having trouble with routine things like mowing the lawn or playing darts. Joy even considered him as he became detached and ill-tempered. But when Les started talking about some shadow off to his side, Joy knew they had to see a neurologist. When his diagnosis was confirmed, she started attending events with other people who have Parkinson's. And yes, she could sense the same smell in all of them. Scientists got interested in Joy's unusual skill in 2012 and decided to test her. A team at the University of Edinburgh gave her 12 t-shirts, 6 from healthy people and 6 from people who had Parkinson's. Joy's job was to sniff the shirts and figure out which ones belonged to the people with health issues, and she got them all right. But then Joy said that one of the shirts from a healthy person smelled like Parkinson's too. The scientist thought she made a mistake, but 8 months later, that same person was diagnosed with Parkinson's. That meant Joy could smell it before doctors could even find it. She was born with something called hereditary hyperosmia, which means she's able to notice tiny scent changes that no one else can detect. Mrs. Milne believes she inherited it from her grandmother. When Joy was little, her grandma wanted her to develop this ability and learn to distinguish the smell of different parts of a rose. She could tell the scent of the petals from the scent of the leaves from the scent of the pistils and stamens. At the same time, Grandma told Joy to keep this superpower to herself, so even her husband didn't know anything about it. He first noticed her nose was ultra-sensitive when they went on a trip to the Scandinavian far north, and she told him the tundra had a cream odor. Mrs. Milne said this talent makes her everyday life hard because any cleaning chemical or perfume is too overwhelming for her. And even though she can smell Parkinson's in public, medical ethicists strongly recommend her not to tell strangers they got it. When scientists got interested in Joy's talent, they first thought the odor was concentrated not in the armpits, but it turned out to be the neckline. They figured out Joy can detect this condition thanks to sebum, an oily substance produced by our skin. People with Parkinson's often produce too much of this oil, a condition called seborrhea. Scientists discovered that the smell Joy picks up comes from tiny changes in the sebum's makeup, especially in certain chemicals. One reason the sebum smells different in people with Parkinson's could be tiny microbes on the skin, which change the way the oil is made. Another reason might be that too much oil keeps certain smelly substances trapped on the skin for longer. Scientists tested the sebum of people with Parkinson's, both those taking medicine and those who weren't. They found that their sebum had a special pattern that made them different from people without this condition. This means that the smell Joy detects could help scientists create a brand new test to diagnose Parkinson's just by checking the skin's oil. Otherwise, it's pretty tricky to diagnose because it has so many different symptoms, some that affect motor function and others that don't. It can sometimes look like other health issues or just signs of aging, so even the best neurologists can get it wrong up to 30% of the time. Using Joy's talent could help catch Parkinson's super early because the changes in sebum happen years before a person knows they have this condition. If doctors could test for it early, they could help patients much sooner and save many lives. Plus, the new skin swab test would be way faster, cheaper, and wouldn't involve any unpleasant procedures, unlike some of the current tests. The new diagnosing method could also help to see if the meds are working because the odor is lower when symptoms are under control. In the future, scientists are hoping to develop new tests based on the same principle for other serious health issues. This way, Joy's super smelling ability could change medicine forever. Daniel Kish is another human with a real superpower. Blind from an early age, he's trained himself to see with his ears. He makes clicking noises with his mouth, and when those sounds bounce off objects and come back to him, he listens carefully. The echoes tell him where things are, just like how bats find their way in the dark. Daniel worked with scientists from 6 different universities to study this amazing skill. He says we know tons about how eyes work, but what we understand about human echolocation is still very little. Scientists recorded thousands of clicks from Daniel and 2 other echolocators. They discovered that these clicks create a cone of perception that spreads out in front of the person at about 60 degrees, like a flashlight made of sound. The strongest details come from what's directly in front of them. When someone uses echolocation, their brain activates the same areas that process vision. It's not like regular eyesight, but it creates a picture in the mind. The world appears in a fuzzy 3D way, where people can tell shape, size, texture, and even how solid something is. Now that scientists know more about how echolocation works, they can help blind people learn to use their clicks in the best way possible. Sometimes, after brain impairment, people get new talents called acquired savants. It's very rare, but when it does happen, the person might suddenly become amazing at math or be able to draw entire cities from memory, down to the tiniest details. One famous case is Orlando Sorrell. In 1979, he was playing baseball at school. Suddenly, a baseball hit him hard on the side of his head. But instead of stopping, he just kept playing. For a whole year after that, he got really bad headaches that lasted for hours. Then, he realized he could instantly figure out tricky calendar questions, like how many Mondays were in the year 1980. He could also remember every single thing that had happened to him every day. You might wish you had the amazing talents of savants, but their brains work very differently from other people. They focus on tiny details that most people ignore, which is why they're so good at certain things like math or drawing. But this makes it really hard for them to take tests at school. That's because tests usually ask big general questions, and savants think in a much more focused and detailed way. Some people can see music, taste sounds, or feel colors on their skin. Their senses are crossed, as they have a rare condition called synesthesia. One of its common types is seeing certain colors as days of the week, or hearing a whoosh sound when watching something go past them. Elizabeth Salser has a super rare kind of synesthesia where her sight, hearing, and taste are all connected. When she hears music, she doesn't just listen to it, but sees colorful sound waves floating around her, and she can taste the music too. For years, she thought everyone could do this. She only realized she had rare synesthetic perceptions at the age of 16. Since then, she's taken part in many studies. It turned out she's the only person in the world so far with an interval taste combination. Elizabeth became a professional musician and uses her gift to play symphonies in a way no one else can. Research shows that people with synesthesia often have better memory and score higher on intelligence tests. They also often choose creative or art-based careers. Many music artists have sound color synesthesia, and Billy Joel is one of them.
That's it for today. So hey, if you pacified your curiosity, then give the video a like and share it with your friends. Or if you want more, just click on these videos and stay on the bright side.